Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Grownish, Season 2, Episode 7, Messy. Now, this episode, Zoe's ex-flame Cash, he's involved with this, but not for too long. Here's the general premise. Oh yeah, before I say more, please go and show some love to my new channel, Romie Whispers Asthma, Romie Whispers ASMR. I have a new video up. I decided to do another roleplay video. This time I am an employee of a sunglasses store or a glasses store, but mainly showing you some sunglasses. It's a nice time. It's a nice time. So go over there, show me some love there. Thank you, thank you. I'll have the links also in the more info box for everything. Now, Grownish. Consent. Consent, consent, consent. There's different stages of consent, which was the message for this episode. It starts off with Cash. He's still the big basketball star. He was potentially going to be drafted. I'm saying was because of what happened this episode. He hooked up with a girl at a party. They were both drinking, and they both smashed later on that night. Fine. She tells her friend about it, and she was like, "Oh, I think it was, I think it was great. It was cool. I enjoyed myself, I think." And so then that friend told that story. Like, it's a game of telephone. So she told that story. She was happy. She was with it. Her friend tells another guy, and it was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. And then her friend was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. That was awful." And so then by the end of what was it? By the end of lunch, everyone had this idea that Cash went and took advantage of this girl, which is terrible. Which is terrible, and it shows how misinformation is really dangerous, even when people think they're doing a good thing by spreading it. They don't know the situation, they just know a story that they heard. So now Zoe, heard from Cash or whatever, and the girl goes and says, "Hey, I did not tell anyone that I had a bad time or you took advantage of me, because that's not what happened." He immediately is just like, "Well, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that." And she was like, "No, no, no. I consented to everything, and I had no issues with what happened. I told one person, that we hooked up, and then that person went and told someone else, and then the story completely changed." And so then he was just still apologetic because it's like, just to make sure, I apologize. Just to make sure. So now, most of the episode is comprised of two things. One thing is that Luca gets jealous that Zoe was talking to Cash, even though Zoe clarifies what actually happened in that conversation, and it was more so about Cash just saying Zoe looks good, and she's happy for him, he's happy for her. Actually, very mature of both of them, and that's as far as it went. And so Luca apologized later on, Zoe accepted it, but that wasn't the main thing. I loved how everyone was in the commune space for all of the college attendees. It was cool because it actually felt like, I'm like, yeah, I do remember when, just talking about stuff, especially stuff that was happening on campus with my friends. And that's how you know you have a good group, when you can really talk about things and not sugarcoat it, give your honest opinion. And there were some discrepancies. Anna was for this campus app that essentially alerted everyone. And on my school, they didn't have an app at the time, but they did have a program. But Anna was like, it's important, all stages of consent. And it's like, yeah, but what about the guy that you took home last night who clearly was drunk and high and, not really coherent? And I was like, and again, and again, it just goes to show that was a man, and because you're a woman, just because he may have been okay at the end of the day with everything doesn't mean that he was in his right mind to technically consent to much of anything. Vivek talks about his issue is more so actually getting someone to the stage of the bedroom, getting a girl into the bedroom, or just really to have a conversation with him. He's the type where he needs to be not drunk, but he needs to drink to get a little loose to even approach a girl to really seriously try and talk to her. Aaron, on the other hand, is Mr. His version of consent issues stems from when he is on the dance floor. He's kind of like humping and doing a little bit too much, and not like humping women randomly or anything like that. But it's just kind of like he needs to chill. But again, there's nothing too much. That's not too bad. They talk about the differences between.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.
Men and women, and like I said, the issues of consent, and they didn't really dive into, I guess, what like the gay aspect. I feel like one of the girls was kind of leading down that road. Romie, because Romie is a serial, I don't even want to call it dater, a serial hookuper. She's definitely like, so we really have to go through every motion, like, okay, kiss you here, are we cool? Kiss you here, are we cool? Touch you here, even though we were already physically doing stuff, are you cool? But the conversation was really important because they got to some key points, some clear key points. At any point, if one of the two people aren't with it, stop. At any point, if someone is basically blacked out, stop. At any point, if you also see one of your friends doing too much, stop them, or at least talk to them and say, what are you doing? Because that's also another important thing. A lot of this stuff, because that was the whole thing. They're like, okay, this app, depending on the situation, things could get misconstrued. And it's like, yes, it definitely could. But the main thing is, it does help gauge people, make people feel like they can be more active in stopping things before it happens. And that's really important. I think it's funny how Anna and Aaron, no one is catching the fact that they're not flirting with each other in front of everyone else, but the energy between the two of them is off. But the energy between the two of them has always been off. And it sounds like they only hooked up once. I said, that's once for now. That's once for now. But yeah, I just wanted to go and throw my little 2 cents in there. Like I said, I definitely think it was really an important episode, and I like the way how they did it, because they got through all the different points and scenarios, but it didn't feel like they were preaching. So I think it will reach more people when you do it that way. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. How to Get Away with Murder will be up tomorrow. We'll be up tomorrow. There's a new episode tonight, and Big Brother as well. And check out my new asthma video on my other channel. Links below. Thank you.